on Earth long before their civilization, long before any civilization. Experts estimate that the hippopotamus has been alive since the Tertiary Age, about 70 million years. The hippo is an amphibian, equally at home on land or in water. The hippo likes company. He lives in groups of from 5 to 15. Because of his sensitive skin, most of the daylight hours are spent in water. He even secretes a red fluid as a kind of natural suntan lotion. This has led to a myth that the hippo sometimes sweats blood. His domain has shrunk. He once roamed throughout Africa, Europe, and Asia, and fossil remains have even been found in England. He has changed little through the course of time. On the western side of the African continent, in the basin of the Congo River, lives the other member of the hippo family, the pygmy hippopotamus. He averages 31 inches at the shoulder, weighs 600 pounds. He is 1/5 the size of his eastern brother. The pygmy hippo is not really a miniature of the larger hippo. He has a chunky body and lives in swampy areas, streams, or creeks that run through dense forests. He doesn't care for company. A more territorial animal than his cousin, he lives alone or in pairs. Being nocturnal, he wanders at night through the underbrush along set paths. After a time, these paths become tunnel-like. Grasses, tender shoots, and various vegetables are his normal diet. Compared to his larger relative, he's far less aquatic, but he is still a good swimmer and is even more renowned for his aggressiveness. The pygmy hippo is considered a delicacy by the Congolese, and despite rigid governmental protection, this species has declined drastically, and today is found almost exclusively in zoos. The crocodile is the only real predator that dares attack the hippo, kiboko, as he's called by the Africans. But these attacks are rare, and a crocodile would have to be very hungry to risk a fight with a mother hippo in order to feed on a baby hippo. Kiboko is tough and aggressive. Even a killing machine as efficient as a crocodile has little chance against those tusk-like teeth of an enraged hippo, on land or underwater. Kiboko is the largest member of the pig family. He might weigh 3 tons. He averages about 5 feet at the shoulders. Hippos live in matriarchal groups in which the females are dominant. Adult males are driven away. They form their own groups or live alone. Females with young stay together as protection against the males, which kill the calves. When an aggressive male approaches, the matriarchs band together to drive him off. The hippo is truly amphibious. He has special muscles that act as valves, closing his ears and nostrils when he submerges. His yawn is really a threat posture. He displays his pointed eye teeth and giant incisors as warnings. Like his enemy, the crocodile, Kiboko can submerge himself entirely while keeping his ears, eyes, and nostrils above water level. Thus, he is able to detect danger without exposure. There are some differences of opinion among experts about how long the hippo can remain submerged. Estimates vary from 5 to 10 minutes. But whatever the time, Kiboko's huge body assumes an amazing grace underwater. In many areas, hippos have consumed all the growing things on the riverbanks. Since they don't eat underwater plants, they must often wander 25 miles or more during a night for their daily 300 pounds of greenstuffs. Hippo groups are usually fairly tranquil among themselves. This has led many casual observers to believe the animal is docile. During mating season, an invasion of territories by other hippos can cause the groups to explode in relentless fury. That's when Kiboko unleashes his tremendous power. One of Kiboko's constitutional problems is regulating his body temperature. When he's too warm, he submerges himself. When he's too cold, he basks in the sun. He has special sweat glands which continually bathe his 2-inch thick fatty skin. But still, he cannot stay out of the water for very long periods during the day. Baby hippos are born both on the land and in the water after a 6-month gestation period. At birth, the calf weighs about 100 pounds, and it can swim as soon as it's born. The mother suckles her calf on land or in the water for several months. At first, mother and calf stay away from the main herd, although they will join with their older offspring. Mother and calf stay close together. They rarely use the tracks of the main herd until the baby is about 2 months old. Joining the main herd before 2 months of age exposes the calf to unnecessary danger of being killed by aggressive males, or of being attacked by crocodiles. The northern and southern branches of the Nile River, the hippopotamus, and the Egyptians are all tied together in history, in myth, and in worship. Tauret the Great was the popular Egyptian goddess of childbirth and symbolized maternity and suckling. She is represented as a female hippopotamus with pendant breasts, standing upright on her back legs and holding a hieroglyphic sign of protection, Sa, a braid of rolled papyrus. She was especially worshipped in Thebes, where she enjoyed great popularity among people of the middle class, who often gave her name to their children and decorated their houses with her images. Today, the shores of the southern Nile are barren. Kiboko uses the dry ground to warm himself and to stake out his territories. Long ago, these same shores flourished with papyrus, a reed that had many uses for the Egyptians and great religious symbolism. It was a sign of peace, of fertility. It was used for the making of paper and for the building of ships. Kiboko lived here then, as now. During the period of 1500 BC, huge boats made of papyrus sailed down the Nile to temples of Amun-Ra, Karnak, Luxor, and Heliopolis. During her reign, Queen Hatshepsut of Egypt had 2 giant obelisks made for herself and for her husband. The 2 ships that transported them were the largest ever made up to that time. They were constructed entirely of papyrus reeds. The ships were 280 feet long and weighed 800 tons each. Today, the great temple cities are ruins. The names of the kings and queens are forgotten. The empire that was to last forever crumbled. But the river lives, and Kiboko lives as he lived then. In some places, the reeds again grow down to the water's edge. Still, Kiboko's home. Many large animals and birds have symbiotic relationships in which one partner helps the other. The bird picks ticks and other parasites from the hippo's hide and feeds